Hey guys, sorry I'm out again, but I have a sick child and so please just follow along with the directions on Google Classroom in order for you to be successful today. Alright, so we're going to do rational exponents. So you have your foldable, and you would go ahead and fold your foldable like a book, but don't do it all the way to, when you go from left to right, don't do it all the way to the end because you want that radicals and rational expressions to be showing on the side. So just fold it 3/4 of the way. We're going to first look at simplifying radicals. First of all, the basic stuff that you already know. What does n represent? When it's in this little top corner right here, what does n represent? And that is your index. This is pointing, this one is pointing right there. That is your radical sign. And the number under the radical sign is your radicand. Again, that is all review. All of this should be review also. The square root of 49. Remember, if the index is 2, you're not going to see it there. Okay, so it's kind of invisible. When it's asking for the square root, you will never see the index there. So the square root of 49 is 7. The fourth root of 81. Notice the index is 4. Means what number multiplied by itself 4 times is going to give you 81. And do not forget, if you go ahead and use your calculator, if you go ahead and use your calculator, you can put this in your calculator. Go to the math button. Hit the math button and go down to number 5. If you notice, it doesn't have an index there. So we want to put a 4 as my index. Use your over arrow, and then you want to put the 81. What number multiplied by itself 4 times gives me 81? If we hit enter, my answer is 3. The cube root of 216. So the index is a 3. That means cube root. Anything higher than the 3 of an index is just going to be the 4th root, 5th root, 6th root. Okay? Square root is for 2. Cube root is for 3. So we can go ahead and use our calculator for that too. If we hit the math button, the cube root one is number 4. And I can put 216. What number multiplied by itself 3 times is going to give me 216? And that would be 6. The 5th root of 32. What number multiplied by itself 5 times is going to give me 32? So go to math. I want to do number 5, so I can put an index higher than 3 in. And then go over to your radicand, and I believe it was 32. What number multiplied by itself 5 times gives me 32, and that would be the number 2. So just a little quick recap on simplifying radicals. All right, let's go on to exponential form. We want to look at it in exponential form and change it to radical form. In order to do that, we need to understand what important stuff we have in exponential form. So if I look at this exponential form, in order to change it to radical form, my A is going to be my radicand, the number under the radical. My M, that is going to be the exponent on the radicand. And the N is going to be my index. So when I go ahead and write it in radical form, put your radical, my radicand is A. The exponent on my radicand is this up here, whatever. In this case, it's a variable, so it'll usually be a number. N is my index, and that would go out front here depending on what number it is. So let's go ahead and look. So that's how you change it from exponential form to radical form. Let's go ahead and look at our first example. D to the 5/6. Remember, this, I'm going to go ahead and erase this part so I have some room here. The D is my radicand. The 5 is my exponent on the radicand. And the 6 in the denominator is my index. So if I go ahead and change this from exponential form to radical form, the radicand is underneath the radical. The exponent on the radicand is the numerator of my fraction, so it's a 5, and the index is the denominator of my fraction, so it's a 6. go ahead and look at this in exponential form. If we want to write it in radical form, put your radical. Your radicand is your e. What's the exponent on your radicand? Whatever is in the numerator of your fraction, so put a 2. And the index of your radical is whatever's in the denominator of the fraction, so put a 7. Remember, that 7 goes up top there, not out front as a coefficient. All right, last one. Put your radical. What goes underneath? What's your radicand? What goes underneath your radical? Is m. Does it have an exponent? The numerator of your fraction is the exponent, and the denominator of your fraction is the index. And you have successfully changed from exponential form to radical form. All right, now let's go the other way around, from radical form to exponential form. So we're looking at it in radical form. You know what all this is. This is my index. This is my radicand. And this is my exponent on my radicand. So think about how you're going to write this in exponential form. Put your radicand, and the fraction that goes with your radicand as an exponent is the exponent on your radicand divided by your index. So the 5th root of y to the 3rd. Take your radicand and then make your fraction when you're putting it in exponential form. The exponent on your radicand goes in the numerator, and the index on your radical goes in the denominator. And I have successfully changed it from radical form to exponential form. What are the next two going to look like? So get rid of the radical. You're going to exponential form. Take the radicand, make your fraction as an exponent here. In the numerator goes the exponent of your radicand, which is a 4, and in the denominator is the index on your radical, which is a 3. And you leave it like that. Now let me ask you something about the next one. So I don't see an index there. If I don't see an index there, I see no index right here. What is known to be there? Very good, it's a 2. So take your radicand, make your fraction when you're putting it in exponential form. Remember, it is exponent over index. So the exponent is 7, the index is 2. So I have successfully changed it from radical to exponential form. Next part, we're going to simplify rational exponents. So it's asking me to first rewrite it in radical form and then simplify as much as I possibly can. So if it wants me to rewrite it in radical form, what form are these all in right now? So they are currently in exponential form. Very good. I want to put them in radical form first. Remember, make your radical. What's your radicand going to be? This whole number right here. Remember, this exponent is exponent divided by index. So the exponent on your radicand is 1, and the index out front of your radical is 3. Do I necessarily have to have the 1 there? No, I could just have the cube root of 125. So if you don't know that answer, go ahead and put it in the calculator because it says simplify. You don't have to worry about simplifying it. Hit math, number 4 for cube root. What number times itself 3 times gives me 125? And my answer is 5. All right, let's change this. Notice though, let me just show you something really quick because I can also check myself using this exponential form. So if I wanted to double check myself, put in 125, use your caret right above the upside down V above the division sign, and if I want to make that exponent a fraction, go to alpha, y equals number 1. And put the fraction that you have there, 1, and go down 3 and hit enter. I get the same exact thing. So notice, here is where I put it in radical form and I got 5, and here's where I put it in an exponential form and I got 5. So either way, the calculator can do it as long as you input it correctly. All right, so let's go ahead to the next one. We want to take this from exponential form to radical form. So put your radical. What is your radicand? The 16. Remember, when it's written in exponential form, that exponential fraction is exponent divided by index. So the exponent on your 16 should be 1, and the index should be 4. Again, do you have to have that 1 on the 16? No. So let's go 4 through to 16. What number multiplied by itself 4 times gives you 16? Go ahead, check yourself with your calculator. If I'm doing 4 through, remember, I have to go to math and I have to use number 5. And I can put the index of 4 in there, and then I can go to my radicand and put 16, and I get 2. 2 multiplied by itself 4 times gives me 16. All right, last but not least, let's go ahead and write this exponential form in radical form. So what's your radical? What is your radicand? What goes underneath? 27. Remember, when it's an exponential form, that fraction is exponent divided by index. So the exponent on 27 is 2. The index is 3. Put it in just the way you see it. So go to math. Cube root. It's cube root, right? Yes, it is. So we want number 4 for cube root. And then I want to do 27, and I want to square 27 and make sure that's all under the radical, and hit enter. And my answer is 9. All right, you're going to go ahead and check on Google Classroom to see what your homework is next. Have a great day. Work hard. Remember, my expectations of you are the same as when I am here. I appreciate your hard work and effort.